This is the Royals Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Kansas City Royals. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in to the Royals Postcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Chance Liebau, here to bring you reaction to every single Royals game the rest of the way. You can follow me on Twitter at Chance Liebau. It is down below. You can see it by my name right there. If you can't make a show live, don't worry. These episodes will be uploaded for you to listen to on demand wherever you get your podcasts. Before we get started, as you can see on the ticker below, remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, turn on notifications so that you can get an alert whenever we go live. Thanks so much for joining the show live. If you are here live, appreciate you guys for hopping in the comments section. Continue to do so. Appreciate you guys always making live shows. We got Rich in here saying, what is going on? That's a great question, Rich, one that we continue to attempt to answer, and that's kind of what we're here to do here in our postcast, here to give you a little bit of a rundown, a little bit of an instant reaction to all the Royals games, and right now they are 3-8, I believe. No, 3-7. 3-7. No, 3-8. 3-8 since these postcasts started. So very, very bad baseball game today from the Royals. They lose to the A's. Final score of 4-0, and it felt insurmountable once the A's got on the board first. They hit a home run in the second inning. From that point on, it felt like that was it. I mean, it really felt like that was the ball game. So before we really dive deep into anything, here is what you'll be talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
The offensive performance, once again. I'm running out of words to say because it continues to be an issue, and I don't have any more analysis or anything on swings. Guys aren't hitting. Today and yesterday was some of the worst hitting, yesterday in the Yankees finale, some of the worst hitting I've seen in a long time, at least approaches the plate, really just at bats in general. And today might have been the worst of the bunch because they're going up against Jacob Lopez, who was really, I want to put this very nicely, a nobody. Coming into this one with a 6 ERA. I mean, it had been an up and down starter for the A's and the Rays throughout his career. Really had no expectations coming. I mean, I felt like, the Royals do struggle against lefties because they're lefty heavy with some of their power bats. I kind of felt like it might be a tough spot for them against a guy that they made look like Randy Johnson today. So right now, it feels like the Royals are everyone's get-right spot because the Yankees had just lost a series to the Red Sox. The A's were obviously coming in on a big scuffle. And last week is different because the White Sox were playing better baseball. But as we stand right now, the Royals are sitting as everybody's get-right spot. You see that big K and that big C on your calendar, on the schedule, and you're thinking, okay, it's time to capitalize. The Royals are the equivalent of an FCS opponent in football. They are Pepperdine for the Dukes of the world. They are truly just a punching bag for everybody else in the major leagues. And it is sad to watch that because there's no pride in this team right now. I had a conversation with my mom yesterday, and she's a big Royals fan. And one of the things that, we were talking about was just do they have any enforcers in the dugout? Does the team even like each other? And what I've kind of deducted, it feels like they're a bunch of front runners. Everybody's high and mighty and jolly and happy when things are going right, which was last season when they got off to that incredible scorching start, beat up on the White Sox a ton, feeling good about yourselves. I mean, in a playoff position from April to September, and then a little bit out of a playoff spot and then back into a playoff spot. But when things were going well for that team, it was all jolly and happy. When Vinny goes out and they get faced with a little bit of adversity, when they get roughed up on the road, they face a little bit of adversity. They really they go into their shells. They have faced a ton of adversity this year. I would argue that this season, and this is not even, you can take away wins and losses. You can forget about that. In terms of total adversity faced, this year's team feels like they faced much more than last season in total. And we are in the 14th of June. So it feels like this is a team of front runners, a team of guys that really are excited when things are going well, but when things aren't going well, because remember, this is the exact same core, save for Jonathan India, the exact same core that went 59 and 103 2 years ago. And we just got told it's an evaluation year, and we'll figure things out. We're going to figure some things out. Same offensive core as that season. And now they are sitting at 3 games below 500. They continue to fall farther and farther out of the wild card race. And the offensive lineup just has no life whatsoever. The plate appearances are struggles to get through. I know there's a lot of people that are going to be frustrated with the Maikel Garcia at bat in the final inning. I'm going to tell you right here and right now, Maikel Garcia has shown more fight than any of the other 25 guys on the roster. Maikel Garcia has shown more fight than any of those guys over the last week and a half. That's it. It's Maikel Garcia. And you can get frustrated with that last at bat. I mean, he just got owned. He got to tip your cap. Wasn't sitting on fastball in on that second pitch, goes down 0-2. And then it was Kevin Kelly, just absolutely paints one on the black on the corner. You're frustrated because he struck out looking at a 4-0 ball game. But Maikel Garcia had 2 of the 4 Royals hits today and continues to be the only life of offense that this team has. So I am running out of – I'm truly tiring myself out by watching these games and trying to come up with things to say, because it truly is hard sometimes to come up with a new angle, especially when we continue to see the same things over and over and over again. The lineup has no pop. I don't think you can move Maikel Garcia. And my one true takeaway from this game is that this lineup looks a lot different without Jonathan India in it. I get it, they're going up against a lefty today, but if Jonathan India plays, I don't think Cags plays, and you don't have Vinny in the 3-hole. You probably have Maikel in the 3-hole. The lineup looks a lot different with India, and I know a lot of people don't want him as the leadoff guy, but Jonathan India is, to quote Moneyball, when they're arguing Hatteberg and Pena, and Philip Seymour Hoffman says, Pena's only first baseman on this team. I hate to break it to you, but Jonathan India is not only is he the best leadoff hitter on this team, he's the only leadoff hitter on this team. There was an experiment last season with Maikel Garcia at the leadoff spot, and it wasn't good. Jonathan India is the best and only leadoff hitter in this lineup. Now, there's going to have to be some shakeups in the lineup, and I'll tell you about what I think those shakeups should be when we come back after the break here on our Royals Postcast. Time to give you a look at the sponsors of today's video. First, we'll start out with Trade Coffee. Let's be real. Coffee, it isn't just a drink. It's a ritual, a lifeline, the thing that gets you from half asleep to fully functioning. If it's that essential, why settle for anything less than amazing? That's where Trade Coffee comes in. Trade is the #1 coffee destination in the United States, delivering fresh, incredible coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. Whether you're a cold brew fan or a pour-over purist, they've got a roast you'll love. And if the first match isn't perfect, Trade will replace it for free until they get it just right. Right now, Trade is exclusively offering our customers 50% off your 1-month trial at drinktrade.com/LockedOnMLB. That's TRADE.com/LockedOnMLB for 50% off your 1-month trial. That's Trade Coffee. The next sponsor of today's video is FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live. With player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays, fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. With the way Tyrese Halliburton and these Indiana Pacers are playing, taking them in the fourth quarter to cover the spread or betting them live is so much fun and so easy on FanDuel. New to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. You can make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right, I teased it in the last segment. Everybody's going to I've seen people rough drafting their lineups in the comments. Appreciate you guys doing that. It's a fun task. I enjoy it. It's pretty much what I do I do it a lot. It's really hard to find a lineup that fits this team because there are so many guys that are not hitting what you'd expect them to. You can't hit Salvi in the 8 hole. You just can't do that. You can't hit Cags in the 7 hole. Well, they are, but you can't. It's not where he is at his best. It's not where you want him to be when he's at his best. You can't hit Bobby leadoff because Bobby is not good in the leadoff spot. He's not a good leadoff hitter. When you look at this lineup, there's got to be some kind of change being made. And I get kind of frustrated with, just seeing what Matt Quatraro does with the lineup because it is so herky-jerky. Now, you don't want to be Ned Yost, who rolls out the same 162 or same 9 at all 162. That's not the way things go. That's not how things are going to be played in the modern day of baseball where, lefties are at a premium out of the bullpen. That's just not how the game is going to be played. You can't roll the same 9 out there every damn game. That's not going to happen. So I think that you have to have Jonathan India in the leadoff spot. He is the only guy that you can rely on to put together quality at-bats on a day-in, day-out basis. I like Maikel Garcia, but I don't think he's a leadoff hitter. I think he's probably best suited for the 5 hole when he in a lineup that is performing at its absolute best, everybody playing to the best of their abilities. Maikel Garcia is probably in the 5 hole in this lineup, but he is having to play out of position because this team has no dudes in the lineup. So you have to have India in the leadoff spot. I would have Vinny in the 2 hole because when you put Vinny in the 4 hole, he's hitting way too often with 2 outs because either India or Garcia is getting out, and Bobby is just an automatic out of the plate right now. You've got to move somebody into that 2 hole because Bobby is just an automatic out there. I would move Vinny up there because Vinny puts together good ABs. Vinny's a guy that you can get on base, can work the gaps, and he's your best hitter right now, at least your hottest. And my strategy, my opinion is that you need your best hitter in the 2 hole because statistically, on average, over 162 games, your best hitter being in the 2 hole is much better than in the 3 hole by 20 to 25 at-bats per season. So I would have Vinny in the 2 hole. And then from then on, it's kind of a dice roll. You can put Bobby in the 3. You can put Maikel in the 3, whoever's hot. I would move Cags up just because of the fact that he's the only guy in this lineup that's got any power, truly any power. This Royals team has no pop whatsoever. And it's the most frustrating thing because the A's come in and they tee off on Michael Lorenzen, and all of a sudden you're in a 2-0 hole and you're like, it's going to take 8 singles to get a run across. So I think you have to move Cags up. I know he's not hitting well right now. Today he had much better swings. I know that he's probably trying to hit the ball in the air a little bit more now, but listen, it's a big ballpark. It's a lot. There's a lot of grass out there in the outfield. So I would move Cags up to maybe 5, maybe 4, and have Bobby or Maikel in the 3, maybe Bobby or Maikel in the 4. Salvi cannot hit anywhere near your run scoring guys or the guys that get on base because Salvi is going to grind into so many double plays. It's truly frustrating. And then you get into, well, you can't play Salvi behind the plate every day. You can't play him at first every day. You can't play Cags in the outfield every day. You're going to get a lefty in there, so it makes things inconsistent. There are so many things that we could, go back and forth on, but this is the lineup I think that they're going to have a reset, a mental reset, maybe even a physical reset. Maybe somebody goes up, maybe somebody goes down. They're going to have a reset this week, I would imagine, on Monday because they have a travel day. They have that day off. I don't think Zumwalt gets fired, but it is becoming increasingly likely because the lineup just continues to look bad. So I continue to believe that this is a lineup that can be fixed because we've seen what they're capable of. but they are not good at responding to adversity right now. They are a bunch of front runners at this stage of the season. And right now they are 3 games out or 3 games below 500 and continuing to dig themselves their own grave. So obviously another frustrating game to be shut out by a guy that should be in AAA right now, and really to make him look like Randy Johnson. I mean, he had 9 punch outs and 6 shutout innings. It never looked hard for him up on the mound. Never looked like he was challenged. And so that's the most frustrating part. But at the end of the day, I think that, Mark Canha, congratulations on 10 years in the big leagues. Enjoy retirement. You're done. I can't see Mark Canha hitting in the 5-hole anymore. I just can't. It's like putting knives through my eye sockets watching him. I get it. 3-4 years ago, he was a really good hitter against lefties, but he's not anymore. He's not a good hitter at all. You got him his 10 years. He's probably, I would say Monday, he probably gets DFA'd. And somebody, maybe it's Cam Devaney, maybe it's MJ Melendez, but somebody has to come up. There has to be some kind of new life in this offense. And, maybe this is the time to bring MJ Melendez up, who has always been a spark plug, always been an energizer. I know he's not great at the plate, but having his presence in the dugout might be a positive for this team, although I would need to see very limited ABs from him on a week-to-week basis. But another really bad loss, very much the same takeaways. If you're coming back to the end and you kind of zoned out for it, too long didn't read, this was another really bad offensive performance. The lineup is a bunch of front runners that doesn't respond to adversity well, and Maikel Garcia is the one player that you can truly build around with this team this year. Now, Bobby Witt Jr., I'm not selling my stock on him yet, but Maikel Garcia needs to be one of the cornerstones of this next generation. It needs to be Bobby, Maikel, Cags, and maybe Vinny. That's your core going into the next 5 years. But I don't think that Maikel needs traded. I know it continues to be a topic on Twitter and on the radio, but Maikel is one of the only players that I think that you can build around because of what he is able to do when he is when he's doing what he's doing right now. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This was not the episode that I wanted to have today. But yeah, it's been really, really bad. This is the worst week-long stretch we've seen from a competitive Royals team in a long time. But I think that at some point it'll probably get better, but when? That's a great question. I don't know that yet, but appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll be back in this seat tomorrow, probably around 3:30, reacting to a finale of a homestand. A's and Royals tomorrow, 1:10 first pitch, and hopefully the Royals are able to give us some runs to talk about. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm Chance Liebau. Thanks for listening to the Locked On Royals postcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.